What's up, guys? Stephen Johnson Stocks. I would love to be saying to you today 3 green weeks onto a green month, but unfortunately yesterday with INAP it turned into 2 green weeks, 1 red week, and I'm pretty much flat on the month. It's like $20. So still major improvements, and I've got a lot to tell you, and there's some epic lessons. So I'm going to just go straight to it, and I just want to thank a couple of people first. Aeroman, I'm fully expecting one of your videos to show your shirt entirely unbuttoned. I could do that. But good job. LNK Trading. Hi Stephen, I've been keeping up with you since before the challenge. Your story's so inspiring. It's great to see your transparency and improvement. And it doesn't take a rocket science to see you'll soon be profitable. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. David J. Martin's been following a while too. Great to see you back on the page. Fuck the haters. We will not fail. The dream is becoming a reality. Yes, sir, but it takes extraordinary levels of work. Angel Trade's great video boss inspired me to make my own videos. I'm seeing this more and more as a trend now. There's a few people that have started documenting their own journeys. That is awesome, guys. I really respect that, and I'm so pleased that I've been able to kickstart this trend. It's awesome to be the first one to do it. And Victor, Stephen Johnson, been following you since the beginning. Keep it up. Hard work will pay eventually. Thanks a lot. Now let's get into a little bit of a story. And the story is about how hard work can generate results, and the results that I've seen over the last 3 months. So December last year, I was chatting with some friends in Dubai, and they were like, what's the plans for this year? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Are we going to be going to Barasti drinking every weekend, which is a bar out here? And I was like, guys, I don't know how to break this to you, but I'm not going to be hanging around with you this year. And they were like, what? You've got a girlfriend? You've gone insane. And I'm like, well, maybe I've gone insane, but I'm not going to be hanging around with you. I'm going to be fading. I'm going to be a fader in 2017. And they're like, well, what do you mean a fade? I'm like, I'm going to fade away. I'm going to fade away, and you're not going to see us anymore. I'm going to be fading away and studying stocks. I'm dedicating the whole of 2017 to fading away and fading into stocks. And that's fading from friends, fading from alcohol, fading from family, fading from everything. It's like, fade! I'm going to fade! I'm going to fade away. I am going to fade so far away that I'm going to be in one of those made-up countries on the map, like Czech Republic or Slovakia, where no one really exists. They're just on the map just to populate the map with some landmarks. It's going to be like the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and then there's going to be me on my own in Slovakia. Or I'll be somewhere else where people don't exist, west of the United States, fell off the world, in the United States of Fadistan. This is a bit stupid, but I'm just illustrating the point that you need to really cut yourself off sometimes to make progress. And I've gone from 20% to 50% profitability or 45% just by really studying, and now I've made that ground, I've learned those lessons, and then I need to do it again for another 3 months to get to 65%. And this is a weird unorthodox lesson, but you need to fade. Now let's get into the month-on-month stats and recap, and then we'll get onto the trades! Yeah, very bittersweet with this. And I say the word bitter just to give the contrast. I'm not really bitter. I take it all with a pinch of salt. It's all part of a learning process. But March, just hours ago, this was up 50, $60. The winning percentage was up in the 55s, and the account balance was up about 1%. The sweet side, though, is that this is pretty much month on month the best month I've ever had. Winning the number of trades that I'm winning is right there in the 47%. The amount that I'm losing on my account balance is just down to 0.2%. The only time I've come close to this is here, and that was because I won a lucky stock on the shipping sector. I was heading towards my 3rd green week in a row. A little bit sad that it had to end, but you can't expect too much too soon. You've got to realize that being flat this week, with just midway through the month being flat, is awesome, because normally I lose $400, and I took a bit of some losses on Friday, but to take losses and still only be $20 down is brilliant. Normally I'm down to 300, then I take losses, or 200, then I take losses, and I'm down 400 or 500. So really strong progress, and I've got to remind myself of that and not beat myself up thinking, oh, you could have been green, because you can't expect too much too soon. And just to highlight, yeah, it was purely Friday went wrong. Played PRKR a bit wrong, you'll see that, and I played INAP a bit wrong, but I'm learned solidly from both of them, and I'll never forget these stocks. I'm going to print them out and put them on the wall. And because I'm like pretty much flat this month, having the best month I've ever had, I wrote this post about entering it and entering into profitability. And it was awesome to hear from Tim. He replied within minutes of it going live, like he generally always does. I get so much support from this man. It's awesome. Congratulations, man. I know how hard you've worked. And that's the thing. Tim will support you if you work really hard. And I mean, right now I'm doing like 10 a.m. till 1 a.m. Studying because I'm so close. I'm so close. I just want to get there. And he said, but remember, you've got a long way to go. And deja vu, Friday happens, and I kind of lose track a bit, but I'll be straight back on track. I'm not worried at all. He says, but there's a clear and definitive proof of improvement, yeah. And again, thanks, Tim. I thank him all the time, but thanks, Tim. And thank you guys, Young Gun, Flockstock, Deep, for the support too. I really appreciate it. Let's get on to the trades. Please watch them all because the lessons are invaluable here. So when it comes to looking for patterns, this is like as good as it gets. This is like trading porn. This is like stock porn. This is like, I should create a website called stockporn.com and like create the best looking charts and word men. I'm not even going to get into that. It's just sick. Okay, so great chart. Blowout volume, it's the first thing you kind of look for. Second thing, is it above its moving averages? Yes. It did crash this day, but then it's having a bit of a build up. It is kind of gapping a little bit. If you look at the 6-month chart, it gaps as well. So I was looking for the $6 break, the break of the red candle, the big red candle the first time it gapped up. And if we just take this on a 5-minute chart, which is, if you're not trading on a 5-minute chart, I recommend it because a lot of traders trade on 5-minute charts. So to see what they're thinking, you should also trade on 5-minute and 1-minute. But this is as good as it gets. So you've basically got this. It's kind of running up on its AMAs above its moving averages, and then it pulls back, and it's a bit of a heavy pullback. Obviously, the trend is broke now because it's broke it's two red candles. It's a 10-minute pullback. It's difficult for it to recover. But if it's not going to spike up above the previous red candle, what it can do is it might make a U-shape, consolidate, and run again. And this U-shape is as good a U-shape as you'll ever see in terms of for an entry. So when it's tightening up, then you get this first green candle, and I'm thinking, this is almost the perfect U-shape. And I was like, I'll wait a little bit more, and the volume's coming in. It's all green volume. It's all turning around nicely off the AMA. And then when the volume starts to pick up here, I'm like, fuck, the volume's coming in. It's made the perfect U-shape. It's all green candles. It's going to run again. And it's not only going to run again, but it's got the $6 breakout. It's a breakout above the high that it made when it had the news. And I was like, oh my God, I am on the witness of like a Martin Luther King speech again. Or something as good as it. And that's not disrespecting Martin Luther King or what he stands for or anything. I think what he does is brilliant and what he did is brilliant. But I just think this is an awesome chart as well. So here's the U-shape on the 1 minute, not as clear, but I was just in on the first big volume candle here, pushed up to the 620s, sold half 615 just to lock in some profits. When it came back down to the 608, 607, I was like, oh, it's too much of a hard pullback for me. I'm gonna get out. So I got out into this little push when it didn't look like it was gonna retest the highs, and then it consolidated a little and then ran. And it's funny because you've got the little U-shape here, and then you've got a big U-shape here. And I mean, I was a wuss. This thing ran all the way to the 7s. I was out at the start of the move here at 615, but not even there like here. But not even here. But whatever here. But solid trade, solid lesson. I'll see you later. So the penny stocking framework pattern that Tim Sykes teaches in his DVD, you have the ram, the 2 and the 3, then forward slams, and then 5's the bounce, where a lot of the long-term shorts, I guess, get squeezed. And I'd say I've took some decent money off this. This is one of the more profitable patterns that I play. Although this time I was a bit eager and overexcited, and I kind of messed it up a little bit. So I was in at 252, just a bit overexcited when I saw this little spike, and then I should have got out immediately because it had a little bit more to drop. And I sat in it to 245 and thought I'm getting out, and then it went down to the 243s, 242s. And then when it made this kind of curling action and the volume started to turn around here on the 5 minute, I was thinking, right, this is going to squeeze and it's going to do what I originally thought it was. And in the past, I would have been pissed and I would have left the chart and I would have left profits on the table. So I'm really, really pleased that I stuck with it and I had the conviction to see it through. And when the volume came in and it started to run, I held in it from I was in at like kind of 246. I sold some at 250, around 257. And then it had a bit of a pullback here, which scared me out. So I got the rest of the shares out at 258 because I was just trying to recover profits at this point. But had I have not been so eager and waited for the pattern to develop, I would have been in full size in the 245s. Maybe I could have sold half into the 60s, sold more into the 80s and made $300-400. So I am learning, I am getting there. It's just a bit more experienced. I'm a little bit inexperienced, and that's the thing here. Okay, so nobody likes to take the biggest loss of the month. And this was my biggest loss of the month. And not because it's a bad stock, not because trading's unpredictable, but just because I didn't play it well. And I didn't play it well because my head was a little bit messed up from PRKR. But it's a multi-month next step up, breakout, gap up, solid pattern. It's just the way I played it was a little bit off. And I'll just walk you through it. But I've learned an incredible amount. This will definitely be going on the stocks to trade wall, which is better than the wall in the Game of Thrones. And I certainly spend a lot more time looking at stocks than I ever do watching Game of Thrones. But I'll just walk you through it. So sells off a little bit because it's gapped up in the morning. And this is very, very choppy. So you've got to be extremely careful. I would not be buying the top of a 1 minute candle or the next 1 minute candle on a stock which is choppy like this. And you get the further validation when you see touches 3 once, touches 3 twice, touches 3 times, touches 3 4 times, and every time it touches it, slams back, slams back, slams back. Now, I mean, 1, just don't play this stock, or 2, wait for it to tighten up, wait for a sign that it's consolidating to break out. Because when it's choppy like this, it's just gambling. And unfortunately, my head was all over the place. Bought in at this top, and what did I expect after seeing it top here and top here? It's obviously going to slam back like it always does previously, and it did. So this was like kind of in here, and I was out into the bounce in the 290s, and I was in at 298, so it was like a few percent loss. Then what's more interesting is you see this tightening up action, this little wedge, and then the volume comes in, and then boom, and it's up. And I think it's cool to buy the pullback here. And then you've got a nice profitable trade. Now it makes another wedge pattern, but by this point I'm thinking it's very choppy, it's a bit overextended. If you want, you can try and buy this. I did try and buy this at 316, but when it came back down, I should have been straight back out because the next red candle was a 1 lower, and it was a loss. But sometimes this will work. It's a bit risky because you're not buying from consolidation for it to break out. Like here where it's kind of consolidated a bit more, you're buying like a breakout, then a wedge, then a breakout. So this is a lot more risky. I didn't do it, but I was just all over the place today. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot. Just so you guys know, you can follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. I do live trades there. And if you're wondering what I mean by like working so hard, I just want to take you through some stuff as a closing piece. This is kind of the stocks where I track the kind of the gappers, some of the earnings winners, a lot of what Tim plays. These are a lot of my own kind of stocks and the mistakes I've made. These stocks over here are a little bit more volatile, and I'm just tracking to see like if I can kind of learn how to trade a bit more on a 5 minute candle. A little bit what Eric does a little bit. This over here is shorting lower highs into spikes. This is going to be dedicated to Tim Grattani setups, as is this wall, and like I literally am running out of space. So I want you to comment below and tell me, take the clock down, keep the clock up, because I am going to make every single wall in this room dedicated to like stocks to trade charts. So comment below, take the clock down or keep the clock up, and thumbs up if you like the video. Meanwhile, I just want to emphasize that you need to study until you go delirious, okay? You need to be like wondering if the world's real. You need to be like, is anybody out there? Is the world real? Like, am I Truman from the Truman Show? And it's not really real, and I'm not real, and the realness of real, I don't know if I'm real or not. Am I Truman from the Truman Show? Like, I don't know. Like, am I Truman from the Truman Show? Do I really exist as a human, or is this fate Slovakia? Message to the world anyway. We will not fail.